Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive edition of entertainment news where the world of daytime television just got a whole lot more dramatic. Imagine the glitz and glamour of the Loose Women studio, that iconic ITV set where bold personalities clash and unfiltered opinions fly like confetti at a celebrity wedding. Today, we're diving headfirst into the scandal that's got everyone from tabloid headlines to Twitter threads buzzing. Russell Crowe, the rugged Australian powerhouse behind Gladiator's thunderous arena battles and A Beautiful Mind's quiet intensity, was unceremoniously kicked off the show following a heated altercation with none other than Denise Welch, the fiery Geordie firebrand who's been a Loose Women staple for over 2 decades. It all unfolded live on air, cameras rolling, audience gasping, and producers scrambling behind the scenes in what can only be described as daytime TV's most jaw-dropping meltdown since that infamous pie-throwing fiasco back in 2012. Russell, fresh off promoting his latest gritty thriller that's already topping box office charts with its raw portrayal of redemption and rage, stepped onto the set expecting the usual mix of light-hearted banter and promotional plugs. At 61, with a career spanning blockbusters that have grossed over $3 billion worldwide, Crowe is no stranger to intensity. After all, he once smashed a phone in a fit of fury and channeled the same volcanic energy into Oscar-winning roles. But nothing could have prepared him for the verbal gladiatorial combat that awaited. Denise Welch, 67, the outspoken advocate for mental health who's shared her own battles with depression and addiction on the show, earning her a legion of loyal fans who adore her no-holds-barred style, was in top form that day, her wit as sharp as a stiletto heel. The panel, rounded out by regulars like Stacey Solomon with her bubbly charm and Nadia Sawalha's diplomatic poise, had set the tone with discussions on everything from celebrity diets to the latest royal gossip, keeping the energy high and the laughs flowing. As Russell settled into the plush red sofa, microphone clipped to his crisp white shirt that strained ever so slightly against his broad shoulders, a nod to his recent return to the boxing ring for charity. The audience erupted in applause, phones at the ready to capture what promised to be a star-studded segment. To truly grasp the powder keg that exploded on Loose Women, we must rewind the clock and trace the paths of these two indomitable forces whose lives have been defined by resilience, controversy, and a refusal to fade quietly into the background. Russell Crowe, born in 1964 in Wellington, New Zealand, but raised in the sun-baked suburbs of Sydney, Australia, was no overnight sensation. As a teen, he fronted punk bands like 30-odd Foot of Grunts, channeling adolescent angst into gravelly vocals and guitar riffs that echoed the raw energy of his later roles. But it was the silver screen that claimed him, starting with small parts in Aussie soaps before exploding globally with Romper Stomper in 1992, where his portrayal of a neo-Nazi skinhead earned him a Venice Film Festival accolade and whispers of the next De Niro. By 2000, Gladiator catapulted him to stratospheric fame, his sweat-drenched cries of "Are you not entertained?" resonating as a battle cry for underdogs everywhere, netting him a Best Actor Oscar and a bromance with director Ridley Scott that spawned sequels decades later. Yet, glory came with shadows. Tabloids feasted on his 2005 BAFTA phone-throwing incident, where he hurled a hotel handset at a clerk over a booking error, or the 2010 divorce from Danielle Spencer after 12 years and 2 sons, a split that fueled headlines about his commitment phobia. Off-screen, Crowe's a scholarly soul who collects Renaissance oil paintings and speaks fluent French, yet a man whose temper has been both his Achilles heel and artistic fuel. He's battled weight fluctuations for roles, from the bloated tobacco exec in The Insider to the chiseled fedora in Master and Commander, and in recent years, he's pivoted to music with his Indoor Garden Party band, releasing albums that blend country twang with introspective lyrics about love's labors lost. Philanthropy marks him too, a vocal supporter of Indigenous Australian rights and environmental causes, donating millions to bushfire relief in 2020. Lights blazing, applause fading into expectant hush, the Loose Women studio transformed from convivial chat den to verbal coliseum as Russell Crowe's easy charm met Denise Welch's incisive edge head-on, igniting the first volleys of what would become a legendary live TV tussle. It was midway through the segment, With the clock ticking past the half-hour mark and ratings meters undoubtedly spiking, that the innocuous pivot to modern masculinity cracked open the floodgates. Christine Lampard, ever the poised navigator in her role as interim host, had just trapped a viewer question about work-life balance and high-stakes careers, segueing smoothly, "Russell, you've juggled fatherhood with these epic roles, so how do you keep the home fires burning without burning out?" Crowe, leaning back with that relaxed posture honed from years of red-eye flights and red carpet poses, launched into a heartfelt riff on his boys, Tennyson and Charles, now teens navigating their own paths away from dad's shadow. "It's about presence, not presence," he said, voice gravelly with sincerity, recounting a recent Cindy barbecue where he flipped snags on the grill while debating climate policy over cold beer, a scene so quintessentially Crowe, blending everyman relatability with intellectual heft. The audience cooed, Stacey Solomon gushing, "Oh, that's proper lovely, Rusa, you're a big softy under all that gladiator gear." Laughter rippled, light as champagne bubbles, and for a moment, harmony reigned. Then Denise struck, her tone honeyed but her eyes steel. "Presence is grand, but let's talk power dynamics, shall we? In your films, the blokes always save the day heroic, sure, but doesn't it reinforce that old boys club where women are just damsels or sidekicks?" The question wasn't born of malice but of Welch's lifelong crusade. She'd spent years on this very sofa dismantling patriarchal tropes, from critiquing Disney princesses to applauding Barbie's feminist reboot. Yet to Crowe, jet-lagged and primed by a Morning Guardian review accusing his latest flick of retrograde gender politics, it landed as a personal broadside. His response was measured at first, a chuckle masking the flicker of irritation. "Denise, storytelling's evolved," made with the studio audience holding collective breath and social media ablaze from leaked live feeds. The altercation between Russell Crowe and Denise Welch surged past polite parrying into a tempest of raw recriminations, where every accusation landed like a haymaker in a no-rules brawl, pushing the boundaries of broadcast decorum to their fraying edge. Christine Lampard's attempts at stewardship, "Let's keep it civil, folks, we're all friends here," rang hollow against the cacophony, her smile strained as she clutched cue cards like life rafts. Crowe, now fully animated, his hands gesturing broadly in that expansive Aussie style, delved deeper into defense mode, his voice booming over the panel's crosstalk. "Privilege? I've clawed from pub gigs to premieres. Denise no silver spoon, just sweat and scars. You wanna talk real fights? Try headlining while the world's waiting for you to crack." His words evoked the isolation of stardom, that 3 a.m. hotel room dread after a flop, or the 2003 tabloid frenzy over his Maori tattoos sparking cultural appropriation debates. Denise, undaunted, her posture ran straight like a general rallying troops, fired salvos drawn from her arsenal of lived experience. "Clawed? Try clawing while nursing postnatal depression in a male-dominated industry that calls you hysterical for speaking up. Your sweat comes with private jets, mine came with Section 8 housing and stigma that nearly killed me." In the heart-pounding vortex of the Loose Women studio, where the line between lively debate and outright anarchy blurred into oblivion, the producer's desperate bid to reclaim control from the rampaging Russell Crowe and unyielding Denise Welch erupted into a frenzy of shouted directives and frantic gestures, transforming the set from talk show tableau to tactical war zone in seconds flat. Christine Lampard, her anchor's composure cracking like fine china under pressure, slammed her palm on the desk, a rare breach of her glossy protocol, bellowing, "All right, that's enough. We're taking a quick break, folks." Back into with more from our guest, but the words barely registered amid the din. Crowe's baritone thundered over the panic-buttoned silent plea, "Break? This farce needs a full stop." While Welch, flushed with righteous adrenaline, jabbed a finger lakeside, "No, let's finish. The truth doesn't pause for ads." The audience, once passive spectators, devolved into a chorus of conflicting cries, "Hear the man out!" clashing with "Go Denise!" in a babel that drowned the pre-recorded laughter track. Back in the control room, a hive of harried executives buzzed like bees in a shaken hive. Segment producer Lisa, a veteran of 15 years wrangling diva dust-ups, barked into her headset, "Cut to Graphica now, and get security to the floor." Stat. Monitors flickered to a standby slate of smiling loose women logos interspersed with teasers for upcoming segments on autumn fashion fixes, a jarring disconnect from the melee unfolding live. On set, floor manager Tom, burly in black polo emblazoned with ITV insignia, waded through the fray like a lifeguard in choppy seas, his clipboard abandoned as he positioned himself between the combatants, murmuring urgently to Crowe, "Mr. Crowe, sir, please see guest lounges this way." Russell, chest heaving like post-spar, fixed Tom with a glare that could curdle milk. "You lot scripted this circus?" Before shrugging off the guiding hand with a force that sent the manager stumbling into Nadia's lap, eliciting a yelp and a toppled water pitcher that soaked the desk in a symbolic flood. Security, two no-nonsense blokes in ill-fitting suits, more accustomed to escorting overzealous fans than evicting A-listers, flanked the scene. One radioing bass, "Code red on Crowe, he's not budging." The physicality escalated the surrealism. Denise, rising to her feet in solidarity or showmanship, her floral frock swirling like a matador's cape, declared to the cameras still rolling illicitly, "If he's going, I'm going." This pano won't silence voices. It was a power play, her history of walkouts like storming off in 2018 over a trans rights debate gone sour, lending credence to the threat. Stacey Solomon, wide-eyed and whispering, tugged at Nadia's sleeve. "This is Mentala, call his agent." But agents were already dialing from afar. Crowe's publicist in LA roused at 3 a.m. PDT, firing off emails threatening pullouts from future promos.